There's this Parker's episode that features Nick Cannon, and in that episode, he's a comedian. He's also Kimberly's boyfriend, kind of, but it's the comedian thing that's important. He does a set, and it starts off kind of normal, but then he just goes absolutely ham on fat jokes. And if you watch the Parkers, you know Nicky would have a big problem with fat jokes, and he just goes overboard with the fat jokes. She confronts him about it, and he basically says he's not going to change and that he should get over it, and so does her daughter. And then she decides that that's something she cannot allow. And so then she gathers like a whole bunch of big ladies, and then they like crash his set, and they boo him and they heckle him, and then they trade jokes back and forth. Eventually he's like, these are just jokes, and she's like, well, get some new ones. And then he's like, well, it's not that easy, let's see if you can do it. And then she goes up there and she starts doing basically like her routine, like skinny women versus fat women. Now, why am I bringing this up? I think this was a missed opportunity. I don't think that the best way to go about this was to bring a whole bunch of people who had a problem with his particular style of jokes and then heckle him and shame him and mess up his set. From what I understand, most comedians are in agreement that they really should have no filter, no censor. They shouldn't be censored or stopped from making whatever kind of jokes they want. Every comedian I've ever heard be asked this question in an interview pretty much says the same thing, that they should not be censored. They should be able to, everything's funny, everything's on the table. And I'm pretty sure that Monique believes this as well. How I might have done it differently, how I might have rewritten the episode was pretty much bypass the whole heckling part and beat the Nick Cannon character at his own game. And since they're gonna do it anyway, and Nikki is Hannah Montana, she could have just went up because I'm pretty sure it was kind of like a competition thing, and she could have just went up, did what she was going to do anyway, and beat him at his own game with fat jokes from a fat girl. Because she does fat jokes too. It's just I can do them and they're funny because, and not offensive to other fat people because I'm fat too. And they're pro fat jokes. I just think it could have been written differently and it was a missed opportunity. And I don't think it's the message you want to send that if, a comedian is saying something you don't like, that, just get a whole bunch of people who also don't like that particular message and heckle him and try to get him to stop and tell him find different jokes. I think that the consensus view is if you don't like that particular comedian, do not go to that person's show. Do not listen to them. There are thousands of other comedians that probably will make you laugh, and don't tell the jokes that you don't like.